storytelling is always rooted in connection and the desire to connect. But what changes in more immersive environments or in Web3 is really how people engage with that narrative and even own that narrative in some instances. And so when we think back to the early days of digital marketing and social media, brands were very focused on broadcasting their story. So really one-way communication. And you and I both know intimately that social media really changed that by allowing for conversation and more community engagement. And that continues to evolve even now, right? In terms of how a platform like TikTok changes how brands, even luxury brands sort of at the pinnacle of their respective spaces, it really changes how they engage with their audience and with their end consumer. But I would argue that Web3 really takes that a step further by theoretically giving consumers kind of a stake in the story itself. And some of the things that people sort of working in these environments like to talk about, one of the things in particular is really around the concept of co-creation. And that isn't necessarily a new idea, right? There have been new and not even new. There have been immersive and kind of co-created experiences for a very long time. One could even argue that a brand like Glossier was ultimately co-created with input from its community, right, to become
Absolutely.
an industry leader.
Mhm.
And I think there's a lot of very interesting technology, and there are also platforms now that really reinforce kind of that dialogue between brands and consumer. And I think that we will continue to see kind of that relationship shift, and consumers have a more meaningful stake in the brands that they care most about.